Hello everyone. Welcome back to ProMind classes. Hope you all are doing well. As we are continuing with our NCRT series, we are doing class 8th Geography NCRT. And today we will discuss chapter number 2, Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resource. Topics that we will cover in the chapter is land, soil, water, natural vegetations and wildlife. Land, one of the most important natural resources. Land covers about 30% of total area of Earth's surface. However, all parts are not habitable. The reason behind uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. Areas which are normally sparsely populated or uninhabited are rugged topography, steep slopes of mountains, low-lying areas of susceptible to waterlogging, deserts area, and thick forest area. And the reason behind this is because the characteristics of land and climate here is not favorable to mankind. And areas which are densely populated, that is, plains and river valleys, offer suitable land for agriculture and have a favorable climate for humans. Now, we will discuss about land uses. The different purpose such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads and setting up of industries. These all are some uses of land. The factors that determine the use of land are topography, soil, climate, minerals, availability of water. Important determinants of land use patterns are human factors such as population and technology, land divisions on the basis of private land and community land. So, private land is owned by individuals, and community land is owned by the community for common use such as collection of fodder, fruits, nuts, or medicinal herbs, and also called common property resource. Populations and demands are increasing, but the land is limited. Many constructional activities are going on, also, agriculture land is expanding. And these are leading to land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, desertification, which are the major threats for the environment. Now, we will discuss about conservation of land resources. So, there are some causes of degradation of land resources. And the examples are large scale destructions of forests, cover and fertile land due to increasing demand. Now, how can we check the present rate of degradation of land resources? It can be checked with help of afforestation, land reclamation, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and checks on overgrazing. Now we will discuss about soil. The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil. Soil is made up of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks found on Earth, landforms, determine the type of soil. The right mixture of minerals and organic matter makes the soil fertile. Now, what are the factors of soil formation? So, major factors are nature of parent rock and climate. And other than these two factors, it is topography, role of organic material, and time. Now, we will discuss about degradation of soil. Soil erosions and depletions are a major threat to the soil as a resource. And what are the factors for soil degradation? It is deforestation, overgazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rainwash, landslides, and floods. Now we will discuss about soil conservation. So, what are the method of soil conservation? First is mulching. The uncovered ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw and it helps in retaining soil moisture. Mountain barriers, stones, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Trenches, that are canals, are made in front of barriers to collect water. Rock dams. Rocks are piled up to slow down the flow of water. This prevents gullies and further soil loss. Terrace farming. Terraces are developed on the steep slopes so that flat surfaces are available to grow crops and which helps in reducing surface runoff and soil erosion. Intercropping. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rainwash. Counter plugging. Plugging parallel to counters of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. Shelter belt. In coastal and dry region, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Now, we will discuss about water. It is one of the most important and renewable resources. So, 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water, and therefore, the Earth is called water planet. Ocean covers 2/3 of Earth's surface, whose water is saline and not fit for human consumption. And fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%, from which 70% occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and mountain regions which are inaccessible. And only 1% of fresh water is available and fit for human use, which is found as groundwater, as surface water in rivers and lakes, and as water vapors in the atmosphere. An abundance of water only seems to vary because it is in constant motion, cycling through the oceans, the air, the land, and back again through the process of evaporation, precipitation, and runoff, and this is called as water cycle. Now we will discuss about some uses of water by humans, not only for drinking and washing but also for agriculture, industries, generating electricity through reserves of dams, and there are more other uses. Now, we will discuss the factors responsible for shortage in supply of fresh water. So, what are some factors? Increasing population, rising demand for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization, rising standard of living. These leads to either drying up of water resources or water pollution. Now, what are some other problems of water availability? Areas facing shortage in fresh water supply. So, most of the areas are from Africa, West Asia, South Asia, and parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America, and entire Australia. Water shortage may be a result of variation in seasonal or annual precipitation, or scarcity is caused by overexploitation and contaminations of water resource. What are the conservations of water availability? Major contaminants, discharge of untreated or partially treated sewage, agriculture, chemicals, and industrial influence in water bodies. So, how we can control water pollution? Forest and other vegetation slow the surface runoff and replenish underground water. So, we should plant more and more trees. Water harvesting also saves the surface runoff. And the canals should be properly lined to minimize loss by water seepage. Now we will discuss about biosphere. The narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, where natural vegetation and wildlife exist is called biosphere. And what is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a network of interaction, organisms, and between organisms and their environment living in a specific space. Now we will discuss some uses of plants. So, plants provide timber, give shelter to animals, provide oxygen we breathe, protect soil, so essential for growing crops, act as shelter belts, help in storage of underground water, and provide us fruits, nuts, latex, turpentine oils, gum, medicinal plants, and also paper. Now, we will discuss the distributions of natural vegetation. The growth of vegetation depends primarily on temperature and moisture. And what are the major vegetation types of the world? Forest, grassland, scrubs, and tundra. Now, division of forest depend on when they shed their leaves. So first is evergreen forest. Do not shade their leaves simultaneously in any season of the year. It is evergreen forest. It is always green, so it is also called as evergreen forest. Deciduous forest shades their leaves in a particular season to conserve loss of moisture through transpiration. And deciduous forests further classified on their locations in different latitudes, that is, tropical and temperate. Forest cover all over the world is vanishing rapidly. Plants give shelter to animals and together they maintain the ecosystem. Change of climate and human interference can cause the loss of natural habitat for plants and animals. Many species have become vulnerable or endangered and some are on the verge of extinction. Now, what are the factors which are responsible for the process of extinction of great natural resources? So, both factors are responsible, that is, natural and man made. For example, deforestation, soil erosion, constructional activities, forest fires, tsunami, and landslide. Now, we will discuss about the measures which can be taken for vegetation and wildlife. So, what are the measures which can be taken place for vegetation and wildlife? Poaching activities are also increasing, in that result in a sharp decline in number of particular species. And the animals are poached for the collection and illegal trade of hides, skins, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers. And some animals who are poached are tiger, lion, elephant, deer, black buck, crocodile, rhinoceros, snow leopard, orchid, and peacock. And for the protection of our natural vegetation and wildlife, many national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are made. And conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetland is necessary to save the precious resources from depletion. Awareness programs like social forestry and One Mahotsav should be encouraged at regional and community level. School children should be encouraged for bird watching and visiting nature campus so that they appreciate the habitat of varied species. So, saving the natural resources, wildlife, and natural vegetation is very important for our planet as well as for coming generation. So here we have discussed the entire chapter. Hope that you have understood it very well. Your concepts are clear. Hope that you like this video. Do share this video and thanks a lot for your precious time. Please do subscribe our channel. Stay tuned with ProMind.